It's Tuesday morning and the birds are singing. It was really quiet Monday night. I think it was the end of a holiday weekend. Some people had the Monday off because it was Canada Day on Saturday. And just because it was Canada Day on Saturday, they had to have a day off. And even though people took Friday off, they took Monday off too. Something like that. So, I don't know. Statutory holidays don't mean much to me because I work the same nights every week, no matter what. So, anyhow, it was pretty slow. It was rather quiet. And so, without much going on, I fell asleep a few times. Maybe 5 times or 6 times. I'm not sure. But I know that there was one video that I was watching, and I think I saw it. I had to watch it about 5 times to actually see it from beginning to end. Oh, there's somebody left a chair and a dresser out. Free. Yeah, looks a little scummy to me. Yeah, so the night was slow. I did make a little over 200, which I suppose was good for that because I had a few decent fares. Nothing really memorable, except for the 3 fat people from Louisiana. Yeah, they were on a cruise ship. They did the Alaska cruise, and they went to Walmart to buy another suitcase, or that's what it appeared to be, because they bought a new suitcase at Walmart and took it back to the cruise ship. So I guess they needed that to put all their souvenirs and stuff in, and they paid in American money, so I can use that when I go to the States in October, because this time of year there are quite a few American tourists between now and, September. And it's only the 4th of July. Well, yeah, maybe it's fitting that I get American money on the evening before the 4th of July. Anyway, not a very memorable or profitable night, but it'll keep me out of the soup line. I'll be back tomorrow. Well, here we are at the airport. It's just after 10. And it's rare to get a call at this hour. But what happened is that it was in town. It was real slow. There was not much going on. And we were waiting, and I think I had 4 trips. And I did my 4 trips, and it was all right. And everything was good. And it was not very busy. You may walk. Yes, you may. You have my permission to walk across the road. Where I come from, the car would just go first and then the people would walk afterwards, but whatever. It's not busy here. It's not busy now. It hasn't been busy anywhere all night so far. And so it was waiting and waiting and waiting and watching videos, but I didn't watch that many videos because I've had other cabbies to talk to, and they would all roll up to me and talk with me and stuff. And there were these guys who were ahead of me in the zone, and they said, "Oh, there's nothing happening here. Let's go downtown." And so there were 2 cars ahead of me, and they both decided to go downtown rather than stay in the part of town where we were. So they went downtown, and I got the call that came out to the airport for $50. So I got my lease and fuel now. It's 10 o'clock, just after 10. So the rest of the night I can just coast. If I make $100, if I make more, whatever, it's all good. That's my goal for tonight. And usually after dark it picks up a little bit. It gets busier. So now we head back into town, and I'll let you know how things will be at the end. I got a call to Denny's while I was there watching a video in the parking lot. And so I went to Denny's and I called the people to come out when I got there. Because, you know, you got to rush to Denny's because people disappear from Denny's really fast. So I got there and they came out, this man and this woman came out. And the man gave me an address to go to, and it wasn't too far away. And I figured, okay, great, you know. So while we're on our way there, he says, and you just stay in the car, and I'll go home, and you take the car home. Okay, she says. When we get there, he gives me $50. And it's $10 on the meter. I say, oh no, that's way too much. It's way too much. You don't need $50 to take her home. You know, like 30 should be enough. He says, no, I give you 50 to take her home, take good care, make sure she gets home. Okay. We get there, it's $25.90, but I have a $50 bill in my hand. So I got almost double the fare to take this woman out to Goldstream, which is great. So I'm doing really well now. And I still got 6 hours to go. And I think I'm in the high, almost 200. Because I had that run to the airport and I had some other fares. Now this one gave me double the fare. I'll be back. Well, it's 5:30 in the morning, and I've already showed you the highlights of the night. The one where I got paid almost double the fare, and the ride out to the airport earlier on, just after 9. So now we're done. I had a few other good trips, but for the last 2.5 hours before the last trip, I was in a parking lot watching videos and not watching videos, meaning that I had my camera, or I had my phone stuck on the sun visor and my seat reclined, and I would drift in and out of sleep waiting for a call. And then I finally got the call at about 10 after 5. Yeah, it took me till 5:21 to get to it. I got this call, and then I brought this girl downtown from out near the hospital, and that worked out really well. Now I'm heading to the car wash. I'm gonna go wash the car, and I'm gonna go park it. So I got my sleep in. I think I slept about 3.5 hours this morning, waiting for calls. So yeah, I'll be back. That was the end of the Tuesday night of Taxi Vlog 463, something like that. Yeah. So we got Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday night to go. Yeah. The Wednesday night was a success. I did in excess of 300, and some of that was thanks in part to getting calls outside of town to bring people back into town. And I ended up out here in the western communities, dropping off. And then there's the car wash that's right here. So it was nice and convenient. But the craziest thing that happened was I got sent to an address, and I called the phone number and there was no answer. It said that the message mailbox is full, and to contact the person at a later date to establish their mailbox. Yeah, I could have. And I was about to drive away when this girl came out, and she's yelling on the phone to somebody saying, "You're not my best friend if you don't let me in." And she gets in the car and she says, "Lock all the doors." Well, unfortunately the electric door locks don't work, so I had to like reach over her to lock the doors. And I said, "Okay, fine." I said, "So where are we going?" She says, "Oh, just a minute." She's talking to some guy on the phone. She said, "Let me put this on speakerphone." So the speakerphone cuts out halfway through what he's saying. And then we ask him to repeat and say it slowly, and he repeated and said it slowly and gave me the address, and I knew where to go as soon as he said it. And she said, "Do you know where that is?" I said, "Yes, I do, of course. I can take you right there." And she was talking about how her boyfriend, husband, whatever, beats her and treats her like shit, and nothing she does is good enough, and on and on and on. And I thought, yeah, I've heard that one before. Look at this morning traffic all going into town from the western communities. I don't like this. I don't like traffic at all. And this only gets worse because we got traffic lights coming up. Traffic lights on a highway. Who's ever heard of that? Let's see if there's any rabbits. I don't see any rabbits here. Maybe there's some rabbits on this side. I don't know. I don't see them. I'm moving too fast to see them. That's where all the bunnies used to be, but they got shipped away to Texas. Or so I heard. So, whatever, yeah, it's been a good night. I'm pleased with it. I did well. I went to sleep a few times trying to watch some movies and documentaries and some cheesy things on YouTube. I did watch 3 whiskey reviews, which were good, but everything else was just stuff in my watch later list about conspiracy theories and the occult and UFOs and Hitler in Antarctica and things like that, you know. Anyways, be back to you tomorrow. I gotta concentrate on dealing with this traffic now. It's now 20 to 5 in the morning. It is the Friday morning. So that means it's the end of the Thursday night. And I've done well. I've got about 270 on right now. And it's not like I had that many calls, but I'd get... Oh, I'm tired. I'd get calls where I'd have go to a place like Denny's and pick up 4 kids to take them home. And of course, they all live at different parts of town, so you make several stops to take all these kids home. And by the time you've done them all, there's like $35 on the clock. And I had a bunch of trips that were about $20 or so. There was one I got called to the highway overpass, and this couple had their car impounded by the police because they were speeding or something. Well, the guy's excuse was that everyone else was speeding too, but he had the loudest exhaust on his car. I imagine it was one of those fart cannons, you know. So So he had his car impounded, but I had to drive him home. They wouldn't just give him a ticket for the exhaust. For some reason, they impounded his car. Or they wouldn't just give him a ticket for the speeding. Well, it turns out I ended up getting $30 for that one. I had a few calls like that. $20 fares, one end of town to the other. A lot of these girls going by themselves. There was one who, I don't know, she acted like a hooker, but she claimed to be a nurse. Looks like it's not going to be another, or it already is a beautiful morning. There's not a cloud in the sky anywhere. It's just nice out. I like this time, this twilight time. This is cool. I enjoy this. Well, you know how it is. If anything memorable happens between now and 6, I'll let you know all about it. Otherwise, I'm going to go to my little spot in this little parking lot, turn on the Wi-Fi, start watching a video, and fall asleep. Yeah, that's the plan. I have had a busy night. It's a Friday night, and, well, actually now it's Saturday morning. It's 3:45, and I've got $500 on. I've had a good night. I've had some lucky longer trips and some good tips. And I dropped off downtown and then got sent a block away to a hotel. I picked up this guy who went out to Langford, which is good. He went to a place called Westwind Road. And as soon as I dropped him off, I got sent to the casino to pick up another customer. That guy at the casino was going back into town to Ogden Point, where the cruise ship is. It was 10 minutes to 11 o'clock. And he had to be back by 11:30, and I said, no problem, we'll be back there at about quarter after, take us 20-25 minutes to get there. So he made it to the ship before it sailed, before the cruise ship sailed, because they sail around around midnight, and his deadline is like 11:30. He's got to be back on the ship. So it was like $33. He gave me a $50. And I've just had that kind of night. So now it's, it's not even 4 o'clock yet. I think I had 250 on by midnight. And by 1 o'clock I had 300 on. And then, by 2 o'clock I had 400. By 3 I had 450, and now it's almost 4, and with the 3:30 time call, and I've got 500 on. So it's been good. Have I had any big drama tonight? Not really. There was one guy who went home from the Peeler Bar, and it was just 2 o'clock, and he had to, he went into the house. Now, I just sat in front of the house and did a blood test because, being diabetic, I like to keep track. And it's every 4 hours. While I'm driving cab, I like to know what my blood's doing every 4 hours. So I did a blood test, and just as I was done with the blood test, the guy comes back out of the house. And he goes downtown to score some drugs. And he comes back out to that house again. So round trip, $35 plus the 10 I got from him before that. So it's been very lucrative and a good night. Wasn't too stressful. Just at the beginning was a little stressful when the traffic was heavy. But after the traffic dissipated and I was getting longer trips, it worked out most favorably. Anyhow, if nothing else happens in the next couple hours that's really memorable, I will say I hope yours is better than mine.